We
We
live, we
live, we
live.
live. What it do,
Period.
boo?
What it do, boo?
How are you?
Girl, I'm good, ready to rock and roll and get into it.
Same,
Ready
same.
to get into it. So really quickly, if
Let's
we
go
can
in our
just,
phones and just make sure that
I
the
updated
prompt
the
is
title too. So we're gonna
public.
check our status, see if we're.
Hey, you guys.
Hey,
Peace
hey,
and
hey, what's up?
blessings.
Okay, we
Yes,
are.
we're up here.
What's up? What's up, everyone? We're about to rock and roll. I am. I know
I'm good
one
to
thing.
go.
I'm excited about today's topic, honey, because the internet has been ablaze with,
Yes, it
hate
has,
in the
girl.
beauty industry. I don't know about your side, but on my end, the
The
people,
beauty industry has definitely been getting some lashings
they
these
have.
last couple of weeks. The beauty
Okay,
industry has been taking some elbows to the throat, some A-town stomps. I mean,
big
do
time.
y'all love us or not? Like I got mixed signals right now.
Girl, it's all bad. So I'll go ahead and put up today's topic since we got people in here. What's up? What's up? What's up? The chat is popping. What's up, T Brown TV? How you doing? Thank you for joining us. Stick around. Stick around. Hey,
Peace
hey,
and
hey.
blessings. Who is that?
Hey, Mike.
Yes,
Hey, glad
yes,
to
yes.
have you in here. What's up, everyone? What's up? What's up? What's up?
T Brown
Hey.
TV. What's up, T Brown TV? You guys got to make sure you
Yes.
go check out my friend's YouTube channel. He is a great influencer out here as well. What's
Yes.
up, Mike? How you liking that new job, man? Good to see you this week.
He started a new job?
Yes,
Mike,
Mike
you
left the
McDonald?
old and he's in with the new now. So
He
we are
did
super
tell me
proud of
that
our
at the
brother.
beginning of the year. The beginning of the year. That is right. Oh well, I'm glad you're moving on to better things, as it should be. Okay, guys, we're gonna go ahead and get into it.
Let's do
So
it.
today's beauty topic, the hot topic in the beauty vault, is the hair raising reality for stylists. Today we're going to be talking about the ugly truth about the beauty industry, and new stylists, beware. There's a lot of love, but there is some hate, and today we're going to dive into that.
Let's talk
So,
about it.
friend, you ready?
I'm ready, baby.
Okay, so I want you to. Do you want to go ahead and read the first question? This question is for the audience. The hot topic in the. Oh wait, I can hear it. Is it your live or mine?
Sorry, you're ready.
Are you good? Okay, you go ahead and read the question to the audience. This question is for
Absolutely.
the audience, the consumers, and then we have another question for the beauty pros, and I'll read that. So,
Yes, yes, yes. First, thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you do not know who we are, if this happens to be your very, very, very first time on the Beauty Vault podcast, let us go ahead and introduce ourselves.
yeah, let's do that. Actually, I got ahead of myself, girl. I was too ready. Okay, thank you for keeping me straight. What's up, everyone? I'm BB Nicole.
Peace and blessings. I'm Trin, and welcome back to the Beauty Vault.
I'm BB Nicole. I am the founder of DHG Pro University, as well as salon owner of deluxehairgallery.co for the ones that don't know.
That's right. Tell them, girlfriend.
Yeah.
I am Trend. I'm the CEO of Totally Trend LLC. I'm your co-host here at the Beauty Vault, as well as your co-educator at DHG Pro University, bringing you guys natural hair care.
Yes.
Now
So-
that we have formally introduced ourselves,
Yes.
I got a question for you guys. Have you ever left a negative review online? If so, what motivated you to do so? And by motivated, I mean motivated you to do so. And do you feel that the business responded to you appropriately?
Yeah, do answer
Talk
that.
about it.
Yeah, so to all of
Ever
our
left a negative review online about somebody? And if so, what drove you to do so?
yes,
How did that business respond back to you? We
yes.
have about 3 people that are watching us in social media world right now.
Yeah.
Go ahead and drop down in the comments and let us know.
Let us
Have
know.
you ever left a negative review about a business before?
Hey, Erin.
Hey,
And while y'all ponder on that question, I have a question for the beauty professionals. Okay. I want to get into a question to our listeners as well as our live viewers. We have another question to pose strictly for the beauty professionals. Have you ever experienced public blasting or negative comments on social media? And if so, how did you handle the situation? I'll repeat that question again. Have you ever experienced public blasting or negative comments on social media? And if so, how did you handle that situation? So,
and
all of
by
my
negative blasting, like, has someone ever made a post about you?
or your business.
Has someone ever went live and went on a public rant about your business and your services?
Ooh,
Woo! How
it
did you handle
happens.
that? Drop them down in the comments, you guys. We're talking today. Stylists,
We
this is
gonna
for
get to
all
it.
stylists, and this is for people who sit in a stylist chair. This is for everybody. If you get haircuts, if you get color, if you get relaxers, if you get roller sets, if you get knotless braids, if you get feed-in braids, if you get a man wig, we need you right here on the post. If you are providing
We need your
own a
report.
business, we need you right here in the post. We're getting down and dirty today. We're getting into the nitty gritty.
We are. So I want you. We're gonna go ahead and keep it raw and authentic. You know how
Let's
we
do it,
do.
baby.
I want you to go ahead and what prompted you had an experience. What prompted you to bring up this topic? Because I know some things went down on social media. So let's get
You
into it.
guys, as you know, we are flawed beings by nature. And with that being said, I happen to be operating on not so much of a high frequency on this particular day. I'm being transparent. I woke up on the don't come for me side of the bed on this particular day. And what happened was I was doing my morning scroll, you get a like, you get a like, you get a like, you get a like, you get a comment, you get a comment. So I am working my algorithms on this particular day. And I happen to be scrolling and I see one of we ain't gonna do no names today.
Yeah, no.
But if you know who you are, hey, come join us. We'd love to have you.
We'd love to have you.
It's a no hate zone, but this is also the truth zone. So if you can't handle the truth, don't come up on here.
Don't even waste your time.
Because we is gonna correct you with love. But back to what I was saying, I was scrolling and I happened to come across a post by a not only a person that I went to school with, so I've known them since my school days, but I've actually had the honor of servicing their hair, their child's hair, and I have a relationship with them outside of that, right? So I see this post from the person in the post. Should I read the post?
Hell, I mean, I don't like margin of error, so we can bring it the fact.
It's like I feel like because I feel like
they
I
can get
the word for word.
Was it generalized or was it targeted towards you, or was it a generalized statement that you just?
It was definitely a generalized post. So no, the post was not. The post was not directed towards me. Yeah. But I did take offense to the post on behalf of all stylists, and I felt the need on this day to comment on it on behalf of all stylists. I felt triggered. I felt tried. I felt like enough is enough, and I felt like we were being bullied.
I agree.
I mean, all stylists, right? Yes. So here we go. The post reads, is my mic on?
Your mic is on.
Okay. The post reads, and I'm going to read it to the best of
there's some grammatical errors.
Okay. Yeah. I'm going to read it in the tone that I feel like she said it in. Okay.
Okay, let's get into it.
Here we go. Y'all new stylists hungry as fuck. It's sad as fuck. I can go get my motherfucking hair done, washed, and relaxed for $30, and y'all motherfuckers can't even think to wash your motherfucking head, and y'all charge $300. And then y'all kid braiders, whew, how the fuck y'all not washing kids' heads? Why the fuck do we have to wash their heads? Baby, my daughter will be at my cousin who do everything. The fuck is wrong with y'all greedy ass motherfuckers? Y'all are scums. I'm not charging no kid $100 for no damn braided ponytail, and the damn braids don't even be neat. The fuck? Then y'all unprofessional as fuck, baby. I can tell some stories. Oh yeah, I said what I said.
Woo. I feel the energy. I feel the energy. I feel the energy. I feel the energy from that. So how you felt
Okay.
about that?
And so, with that being said,
Yeah, that's the tone. That's the
I
post.
immediately felt a heat rush. I felt triggered. My pits started sweating. I was offended, you guys. And again,
I'm offended listening to it because I'm just like,
because I'm like, wait a minute.
Then on top of that, let's put
There's
an
no way
emphasis.
that you can really feel like that. There were so many things I read and that I just could not comprehend in my mind. And so,
number one,
short, I got into conversation. We'll say that. I got into debate.
I don't think it was a debate because I feel like in every debate, depending on the level that you are, somebody is the student, somebody is the student, and somebody is the teacher. And in this emphasis, this was not a debate.
Out of the name that the Most High or my mama or daddy did not give me. But, you know, the reality is, you know, I felt that I was coming to educate her, enlighten her on some things that she may not know. So my first comment on the post, my first response was, you do know that in some states, it's illegal to shampoo hair.
Yeah, if you don't realize
some states. And that was the first comment. And so, you know, that led to the fuck girl, the fuck you talking about? You got to be slow. You got to be, so we name calling. So now I'm really in my feelings. Now exit 4 is rising up.
Rising up.
You know what I'm saying? Now E-Dub, you know, is rising up in me, and
you had to take it there.
I'm on this post with this girl going back and forth. And the reality is,
not your proudest moment, but it's okay.
No, it's definitely not my proudest moment.
Okay.
But it is my truth.
We stand on it. It is.
So here we go. Let's. BB, how do you feel about it? How do you feel about the words that I just read? And the listeners, how do you guys feel about? Do you agree with her? Do you feel like Shawty is preaching to the choir? And like I said, this is a space for you to really give your truth.
Yeah, for sure.
I really want to know how you guys feel. This will help me to be a better professional. This will help me to be a better individual and understand my clients and my guests and my customers and my clientele a little bit more.
Yeah.
Okay. Would you mind reading that, BB?
Yeah, sure. Hey, Erin. Hey, Boo Boo. Some situations were resolved, but it just depends. I think the bigger the business, the less they care. Interesting. So
basically, what you, from your experience, Erin?
Erin. That's Erin.
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 Okay. Beautiful. I love how you spell it too.
So cute.
Okay. So what I'm gathering from your comment is that you feel like the bigger the business is, there is a lack of professionalism. There's a lack of integrity. The bigger the business, the less integrity that they have. Is that what you've experienced?
I think that's what she's saying, because she said, yes, she has posted it. She's posted a review. Okay, I'm going to read her comment. Sorry, y'all. I'm trying to read it and process it, and it's just not working. So we're going to read Erin's comment. Yes, I have. She's answering the question that we did pose at the top of the show. Yes, I have. I posted because I don't feel like my concern was heard. So she didn't feel like her concern was being heard. She didn't feel like her grievance was, cared about, right? And that happens.
Yes, she communicated with a stylist or someone she was doing business with.
I think in a restaurant. Yeah,
she felt as if her needs weren't met, or she wasn't heard, so she took it to social media. That's basically what she's saying.
Yep, that is. I think she's saying she left a review because she was talking about we asked them about the review.
Gotcha.
So I just wanted to tap in because I saw the comments.
Thank you so much
for going red, honey. It was going red, and I wanted to go ahead and check in with them. But I will answer your question. How do I feel in regards to the emotional response that you read from another, I guess, consumer. Well, first of all, I feel like there's a lot of things wrong with it. Like, number one, the first thing she wrote was new stylist. Like, not only did she have an experience, which matters, but she took to social media. Number one, like you're reacting emotionally. So I 9 times out of 10, I guarantee you they didn't take the problem to the stylist. I mean, because they clearly feel like they wanted to spread the news. But you're dealing with a new stylist. It says new stylist. You know, she attacked new stylist. Number one, they don't have the game. And 9 times out of 10, you already knew they were new before you were going to them. So I feel like, I don't know. It's just like a rant and an attack. People just don't respect hairstylists.
Literally. And I don't even
And I just feel like, and also too, I'm gonna be very clear. If it wasn't for my co-host, I would not be responding because I don't respond to people who behave like that and carry themselves like that and conduct themselves in that manner. I don't respond to it. I don't respond when people are trying to debate my, pricing, my worth. I've come too far, so I don't even go there. I remember even like I wanted to kind of say something when you were talking because I'm really my friends and family, but I was like, you know what, she got it covered, and she must have just been having one of them type of days. But I feel where you're coming from because I see it all the time. I see the posts online all the time. People are attacking the beauty industry, and coming for hairstylists, black hairstylists. Yes, the people that make you look good, get you ready for your man, get you ready for your events. A lot of people, and this is generalized, not everyone, let me be clear, but people are really coming for our profession. And the disrespect is getting louder and louder and louder. And I see why in this instance it was hard for you to not clap back, because at what point do we draw the line? At what point do we, just stop degrading ourselves? You know what I mean? At what point does it stop? Because my thing is this: what about I would love to hear from the stylist that even like triggered this response. Like, I want to hear her side. What's her side?
I really do.
What's her side?
Really wish that we could get her here. I really do. But I did not. The reason I did not extend the invitation is because there's nowhere through the text did she give me the
she didn't give you like the person.
She didn't seem like a person that was trying to hear anything. She didn't seem like a person that was trying to enlighten. She just seemed like a person that was trying to tear down.
Thank you. That's why I don't respond, because
and honestly, the reason I responded is because one of the person who shared the original post, the post was shared. I seen the post on one of my associates' timeline of a post that she shared, I guess from someone that she follows or is in her circle. The person who posted it, she has a pretty strong following. She has people searching for her post, reading her post.
Wow.
She's an influence in social media world. So
interesting.
I took advantage of her post with her knowing me personally to comment, because I assumed that
she would respond a different way.
She would read it out of love, and knowing that I wasn't coming from a place to tear down. And two, for all the other thousands of people who read her posts on a daily basis, they would come across the facts, because that's what I was leaving on the comments.
Yeah, for sure.
Facts and information. I commented on the post to enlighten her, like, hey, maybe you really, I understand that you're angry and something obviously didn't go your way, but maybe you should think of it from this perspective. Shawty might not even have the license to even be shampooing you, depending on where you are in your state.
Yeah.
Do you know the state laws when it comes to cosmetology and barbering and braiding?
Exactly. Some people can't even shampoo.
Or you go sit in the stylist chair. So you could be holding something to a stylist that
really
holding to them. But this.
I was gonna say also too. Well, really reading the passage, what her comments, her words, what really stuck out to me is is it in front of you? Just so I'm clear. Did she say
for reference?
Did she say they did not have kid braiding prices, or they want to charge kids adult prices? Like, I want to know what
y'all are scums. I'm not charging no kids $100 for no damn braided ponytail.
So she didn't.
And the braids don't even be neat. So are you saying that you're not paying $100 for braids that aren't neat? Or are you not paying $100 period for a kid's braided ponytail?
Gotcha. I was gonna
That
say,
was a
okay,
little bit confusing for me.
okay, yeah, it's confusing for me too because I was clearly that's not what she said, and since because I heard it like this, which you corrected for me, but I heard it like the fact that they want to charge kids $100 for braiding. I thought in general maybe they booked a service for braids and showed up with a kid and was expecting something different. So, but if they had kid prices for 100, that's still valid, and if that's their price, that's their price. But either way I go, neither here nor there. My point is that was an emotional response, and it was very overgeneralized. And it's something that happens very common on social media. I saw another person post. They made a comment like along the lines, and it's probably in my area. I remember seeing a couple of the stylists in my area posted and re-share it, and it basically was saying it costs X and Y amount of dollars to put on wigs. And wigs don't even last, and they don't want to put on our wigs or style our wigs, or if they do style our wigs, it's an additional cost. It's an additional cost for this, it's an additional cost for that. And then it went on to say, which I think should have came first, that's fine, I'll just go take a class so I can do it myself. And I immediately saw that post and I was like, yes, do that.
That's what you did.
Yes, do that.
That is the answer to
that
your
is
problem.
The answer. Yes, do that. Yes, go get educated.
That is the answer.
Go take a class.
That's so the reality.
Go take a class so you can see how much education costs. Because you're gonna drop about a grip. You're gonna drop about $600-$700 on the low end for a class. So you're gonna learn lace wigs, right? Say you do learn lace wigs. Okay. Now you learn exactly what it takes to put it on, and you learn exactly their purpose. Lace wigs were not made to stay on people's head for 6 and 8 weeks. Stylists have adapted and did different things to make those things last. Lace wigs are temporary. They're literally for show business and things like that. They were never intended to be a long-term protective style. That's why they bald easily and everything else. You know what I mean? And also, there's responsibility for there's a responsibility to the consumer and to the client when you leave. There's upkeep. If you don't properly upkeep, or and your style doesn't last, half of that responsibility is on you. You know what I mean? We got to be clear.
That's the reality that I feel like
people forget.
People who post these type of posts and have this type of energy, or even agree with this emotional post, is the fact that you have literally taken the responsibility from yourself, and you've put all of the responsibility on the client,
on the stylist.
What really triggered me the most from this post was the comment about the charging the kids $100.
Let's
that's
get
the
into
thing
that. Let's
really
talk about that.
To me. For one, I recently retired from doing children's hair.
I don't do kids' hair at all.
I recently retired last year from doing children's hair, period. And if there anyone on here who listens to this later on or is on here now, if I've had the honor of servicing your child, you already know. I take my time. Your child is getting breaks. Your child has entertainment. I have customized my service and my service time to fit your child's needs, right? And I've done that for my whole career. I've serviced children as long as I've serviced adults. So we're talking 10 to 15 years. And being in the position that I'm in now as a stylist, $100 to me, number one, is not even a lot of money when it comes to servicing a child's head. Number one, you look at it like a child as the age. Some of these children have heads that are as big as their mamas and daddies.
And got hair as much as an adult. That's why y'all booking a service.
The child has more hair strands on their head than you have on yours. Right? So that's number one. Number two, the amount of wear and tear that is going to happen to my body is going to be less wear and tear than doing the parents' hair. 2, 3. is anyone considering the products that we're using on these children?
Mm-hmm.
You know, me personally, I use 2 different shampoos every single time, and both of my shampoos are 14 to 15 bucks, and that's for the small ounce.
Mm-hmm.
That's not including the conditioner. That's not including your beads. It's not including the hair that I added. It's not including anything else other than that. Mm-hmm. So really, that $100 has been broken down. We don't get to spend that whole 100. That's number one. And on top of that, screw that.
Mm-hmm. That's the
How
price.
can you have a problem with paying any amount of money to do something on your child's head that you haven't learned to do?
And you don't have to do. Like, at this point, you've paid.
Your child's head is your responsibility as the parent. If your daughter needs her hair done, it's your responsibility to do her hair. At the rate that you decide that you don't want the responsibility because the hair's too thick,
or you don't have time.
Child, don't sit still. The child is tender-headed. The child cry. You just don't got the patience, or you just really don't want to.
Or so in some cases, when they care,
responsibility, and you put in that responsibility on the stylist, in which we are trained to do hair, but we're not trained. No cosmetology school that you go to is going to train you on how to service a child's head.
But can we talk about it?
And I may be wrong.
No, they don't.
But I went to Paul Mitchell, and that's one of the top schools in the world, Craig. And we didn't get no learning how to consult a child, shampoo a child, entertain a child, any of that.
Yeah.
We did get introduced to some products that would help your child to detangle their hair to make it a little more manageable to get through. But what I'm saying is, once you have put in the responsibility on someone else other than yourself to do your child's hair, you gonna pay whatever. When you take your car got a leak, and you take it to the repair shop, you can't say, oh yeah, well, only do $100 worth of work. Only do $65 worth of work. No, take your car there because you don't know nothing about cars. You don't know what's wrong with your car, and you need them, the professional, to figure out what's wrong with it and fix it. You're going to pay whatever price that mechanic tell you that you're going to pay.
But they value
that.
Why
is it different with us? Why is it different when you guys come to the beauty industry? No, you don't know. I'm not telling you have to pay that $100. But let me ask you this. We got YouTube. We got TikTok.
You can learn right at home.
We got grown men out here putting ponytails in their kids'
because they learn it from YouTube.
So the reality is, what is the excuse? Why aren't y'all doing y'all own children's hair? And we're not talking about braided ponytails. Why aren't y'all combing out the child's hair? You got a problem with us washing. Why ain't nobody washing the hair no more? Okay, that could be a really good valid point. Why aren't the stylists shampooing the hair? But why aren't you shampooing your own kid hair? What's the problem?
Well,
what is really the problem with you shampooing your own kid hair?
I'll say this, okay, because that is a question. See, that's
what I'm saying. And my point is, if you may not, there are people who out here who really just, it's a lot of hair and you don't know how to tackle it, right? And so you try, but those are the type of people who's like, listen, I really just don't know. This is a lot. What's your price? Okay.
You're speaking directly to the people that are demanding stylists take on the burden and do it their way.
What I'm saying,
and do it their way, how they want it, and for the price that they want. You're speaking to that person.
Don't want the responsibility of your child's hair, and you go and you sit them and you take them to a salon. Don't complain about the price that you paying, boo. Because you had every opportunity to learn the same skill, practice the same skill for free on your own child's head, and you're not doing so. So give us a break.
Yeah,
give us a break.
And for the people that's just tuning in, there was a rant that happened online, and it was, and we're just kind of piggybacking off of that topic and not focusing on it too much. But in regards to children's hair, number one, I feel like this. Forget children price, adult price. Let's just respect the stylist and their pricing in general. Like let's keep it. It's not up for debate. Like I don't even agree with, like, I'm not gonna say I don't agree with what you're saying, but I also feel like even if somebody is charging $100 for children's services, they have a right to charge that, you know, without even getting into them doing a parent doing kids' hair or whatever the case. People have a right. Let's start at the fact that people have a right to charge what they want to charge. It's it's a consumer's responsibility to go within their budget.
You have the right to
You
not
can
go
Google
to the stylist
yourself,
who's
and you
charging $100.
cannot go to. That's my whole point. Why are y'all?
Why are you
Why are
so mad?
consumers
Just go to who you
going
can
to
afford.
places that they cannot afford? That's my point. It doesn't even matter about none of that. Even the whole post that they made was irrelevant, because why are you mad that you went somewhere that wasn't to your up to your standards? It
You went
wasn't in
somewhere
your
that wasn't
price
in your
range.
budget. Let's be
It
clear.
wasn't in your price range. You know what
And
I
that's
mean?
okay.
And that's okay too. But this is my thing. It comes down
Don't tear
to
down the stylist because she knows her value, or she
thank
has
you.
set a value for herself.
Thank you.
Don't try to tear down another stylist or another professional because they have set the
They
value.
have a
If
standard.
you feel like they're charging too much, you have the right to say, okay, well, thank you.
Hmm.
I'm going to go somewhere else that's within my means. You have the right to do that. But to get on social media and go on a rant to call all stylist scums and this whole new stylist thing,
Hmm.
that's a bunch of hogwash. The
Yeah.
reality is
Hmm.
stylists are starting to know their value.
They
And
are.
once stylists are realizing their value and they're
Hmm.
testing out their value, they're going back and they're paying it forward by telling our other sisters and brothers in the beauty industry,
Hmm.
hey, know your value.
Yeah.
Up your value, and that's what's happening, and it's making the customers uncomfortable because we've literally, I take responsibility on behalf of all the stylists. I could say we are half of the reason that y'all are the way that y'all are, because we've been scared to raise our prices.
Yeah. And I say I.
We have not been operating within our value,
Mhm.
and it's made you guys think less of us, think less valuable of us. And so I encourage us as business owners, as people in the beauty industry, to continue to value yourself,
Mhm.
to continue to, if you're booked 2 weeks out, 1 month out, raise those prices.
Yeah.
If you are booked up when you can't get other clients in there, raise those prices.
For sure.
If the products have gone up $3, then your service list needs to reflect that.
Yeah.
If you're spending an extra 2.5 hours, 3 hours on a child's head versus an adult head, you need to charge accordingly.
Yeah.
And the people that sit in your chair will value you. What will happen is the people like the young lady who created this post,
Mhm.
you will have less of those people sitting in your chair the more that you value yourself. That's the
Mhm.
reality.
That's the reality.
I don't have clients like herself that sit in my chair. I made a post immediately. Thank you, Most High. Just thank God that I have the certain clientele that I have because I
Mhm.
don't really have those type of issues. You
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. For
But
sure.
there are professionals out here who have this challenge, who are literally being bullied.
Yes.
They're being bullied, and that was a bully post.
That was
a bully post. That wasn't a post that wasn't necessarily directed at me, but it was directed towards an individual out here who knows her value and is trying to stand on her value. And you had somebody come behind that and try to tear that down and make her think that she isn't worth what she is. But baby girl, I don't know where you are out here, but you're worth every dollar.
And
You're worth more than that. That little $100 ain't nothing. Okay.
Mhm.
If you feel like when you do children's hair that your services are worth $250, charge it and stand on that.
Mhm.
Stand on that, and you will manifest those clients who will sit in your chair and pay you that
Will.
$50.
So since we on the issue of pricing, so I want to kind of like, take a moment to talk to like beauty professionals, because we are here to enlighten. I feel that hair. I feel like we need to be more. We talked about this in one of our other episodes. Financially forward or money forward when communicating what things cost, and even that tough question of why does it cost that much. So to my listeners and my live viewers and listeners, I have something on the screen and I want to read it to the listeners so they know that we've moved on to another topic. I have to remember to do that for our listeners. Sorry. So the issue of pricing, why hair services cost what they do, and how to communicate that to clients. So, um, so I feel like a way that can eliminate, a lot of emotional responses and public bashing and things like that is to learn how to communicate with your clients. I feel like if stylists, us as professionals, if we learn how to communicate with our clients upfront about what things cost, upfront about how to maintain, how long it will last. We have to up our communication. Also, if we can, when they have those questions about why does it cost that much, number one, standing firm. And even if you don't feel comfortable giving all the excuses, like the product, the time, the this, that is my price. This is my price because of my expertise and because of the care that I'm going to give you. You don't have to list out everything, because that is, to me, I feel like I don't leave room for debate, because a lot of people think things are up for debate. And my policy is really, it's not up for debate. My worth is not up for debate. I'm not going over it. I'm not going to try to explain it. And some people feel fine listing it out. Me personally, I'm not doing that, because I feel like it, if someone automatically doesn't see your worth, they come to your spot and they're arguing about your prices. They're saying, why that? Why this? Why that? They're immediately not aligned with you. I feel they're immediately not for you, because we have websites in place now that people know what they're paying before they get there. We have communication. We're working on our communication. We're being financially forward, like we discussed in the last podcast. We're saying, hey, what are you coming in for today? Okay, this is what this costs. We talked about that. So my thing is, you just have to, I feel like you just gotta just stand firm, not in a pushy way, but just in a, this is what it is type of way. I don't know. I don't get how it's still up for debate, because I really don't move that way. So it's hard for me to really, I guess, give advice for when people are dealing with that, because I have no tolerance for that. You know what I mean? I don't.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely agree with you. We need to be able to communicate. Communication is number one as a
Yeah,
stylist,
for
right? The
sure.
consultation, right?
Yeah.
The water too hot, the water too cold. How's your scalp feeling? Communication is number one in the beauty industry. And
For
you
sure.
will, and you're gonna have those guests that's like, why this and why that, like BB was saying. That is gonna let you know the type of clientele that they are. But you also want to be prepared for those answers. You want to be
Yes.
prepared, because it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
You're gonna have people that's like, okay, well, how much was this? Well, how much of that? Because they're trying to count everything. It's like
Yeah.
when you go get your nails done, right?
hmm
You want to know.
They want
you
the tally
break
up.
it down a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Well, okay, it's $150, but what actually came with this $150?
So how do you do that in the
Am I
salon?
getting massage, or is this just coming with the acrylic and paint, right?
Yeah.
So, I feel like what BB is saying is, don't get in a position where you feel like you're negotiating.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
You're
for
negotiating
sure.
a price.
That's
We're
exactly
not
what I'm
doing
saying.
that.
But communicate it.
Yes, but communicate in a way where they feel they understand.
They understand, and
they're not walking in blindly, right? Okay, I charge $40 an hour. I charge extra for added hair. I charge extra for added length. I charge extra for this. I don't charge for this. I charge for that. Keep it simple like that, but don't get into a point where you're negotiating your prices. Where
that's not what we want. But we
want
to communicate.
You're starting to emotionally discount, because that's really what it is. When you start asking what's this and what's that, somewhere in there they're hoping to look for a little $5 off.
They are.
Or they ask at the beginning during the consultation how much it's going to cost, and then they wait to the end and they ask you again how much it's going to cost.
Yeah.
Like you're going like, okay, we cool now, we friends now, I'm gonna take that extra 5-10 off for you.
Nah.
It's still that same price as it
I'm
was.
laughing at you because
before. It's still gonna be the same price. So that, I feel like that's what you mean by that. But definitely be able to communicate and build your courage on communication. Because for me, I know I'm a person that experienced that, really timid. I'm a people pleaser by nature. I'm a people pleaser by nature, so I'll take out. I've been known for taking off $10 here, $15 here, but then at the end of the year, when I've given myself a raise in February, but by December, I'm made the same amount that I made last year, maybe even less, because of those little $10 here and $15 here.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
as a boss, as an entrepreneur, and as a business that you want to grow, you have to eliminate that. And what happens is the people who are like, well, how much is this and how much is that? They're going to be replaced with people that's like, girl, I'm tipping you this and I'm tipping you that. I don't care how much it costs. Just make me look like you did last time. Make me look better. Make me look like I looked last time. I don't care how much you charge because it's in my budget. You in my budget.
That's the fact.
And something else that I wanted to mention about when you do have a client in your chair. I've noticed this, and I experienced this last week after the post, that a client sat in my chair and we've already discussed the price. We've already discussed the timing, but as soon as they sit in my chair, I already let them know I'm squeezing you in. This is all the time I have for this today. But then they got in my chair and got the price to say, you think you can make them a little longer? You think you can make them, you think you can add this? You think you can make my parts a little smaller at the top? I know we decided on large, but do you think you could do medium at the top? You need to be able to communicate as stylists. I don't have the time. That's not the time that was allotted.
You got to be confident in that. It takes practice.
That's what I mean. Being able to say no in a way where your client still feels valued and appreciated, and they'll come back and sit in your chair, right?
Okay, yeah.
Because the reality is the customer is not always right, baby.
They're not. Also, I want to play devil's advocate. So as far as pricing, I do want to say, because I think if people are charging premium prices, and then there's people charging variety of prices out there. I think everybody can attest to that. You have low end and you have a high end.
You got great value and you got name brand.
And you got name brand. So I want to be clear that saying for people that are charging, we're basically saying that if you are charging high end prices, we stand behind your literal customer experience and quality of work match that. We're not just, promoting that all stylists charge high end, because you got to think about the experience of the client. Are they waiting hours to get in your chair? Are they, you know what I mean? You got to be realistic and do a real assessment. And as far as pricing, I want to tell people a tip to help you charge better, and a tip to help you charge an appropriate price for what you're doing. Number one, we got to start learning our business inside and out. And what I mean by that is, if I do a blowout, I know that on an average head, average thickness, whatever the case, it's going to take me an hour and a half to 2 hours, right? So if I have to spend 2 hours of my business day, my work day, if I am spending 2 hours on a service, you need to have a daily goal, weekly goal, hourly goal, whatever the case. You determine that. You determine how many hours you're working. You determine what you want to make per hour. So if I know that I can do a blowout in 2 hours, and I'm charging 85, 95, whatever the case, I'm charging that per hour, I not only know what my hourly rate is, I can better predict my income. I can schedule my clients, and I can better price myself, because sometimes people spend 12 hours on braids, and and I'm gonna say, sometimes if you don't have it mastered, your time mastered, your braids can go anywhere from 12 hours to 20 hours to even less. You know what I mean? So you have to be clear on, am I managing my time, or is this really how long it takes me? Like for me, I know, like my longest service for like hair extensions, I know how long it's going to take me. And if I go way over, it's usually an error on my part. Not that this client here took too much time, whatever the case, but my average time is this amount. Maybe it's just a day where I ain't got the energy. And if it takes me 12 hours on that particular day, I'm not going to charge them extra for my slack. You know what I mean? So know your business inside and out. If it's taking
where integrity comes in.
Integrity.
That's where that integrity.
They also got to know I'm
not charging you by the hour, and I'm taking my sweet molasses time.
Thank you. That's my point. We're not
like,
saying
well, it's I know I had 3 breaks because my hands get tired. I had to go check on my kids and I had to eat something too. But you're gonna have to pay me for all these 17
No,
hours right
my
quick.
point is know your prices so you can charge accordingly. If you know you want to make $50 an hour, and you know it take you 5 hours to do a blowout, you're gonna be in trouble. So know your time. Know your time so you can know what it takes you to do your services so you can charge accordingly. Just know your business inside and out before you price it. Because
And
if
have those upsell pricings.
upsells
Have
prices,
those. If you know, if know how much you're going to charge a person when they ask for longer length. Know
thank
how
you.
much you're going to charge a person for those smaller box braids.
That's right.
Know how much additional is going to be
That's
already.
right.
Know if this is usually the average amount of time that I take to do this.
Mhm.
Know that once it goes outside of that, how do you handle that accordingly? Is that something that you just kind of charge to the game? Or is there more pricing that needs to be involved?
And that
That's
varies
all an
based.
individual thing. That's a relationship between the guest and the client. Everyone is going to be different.
Mhm.
You're going to have some times where you've done the consultation and you schedule for 4 hours, but it goes to 8 because maybe the client's hair is super fine, so you can't just be going in. Maybe the scalp
But
is
just you have to
compromised. You can't
communicate
be going
that
in like
when
you
you
would
notice
anybody
it.
else. Okay, you might have to be a little more intentional, a little more delicate. So that's going to cost a little bit more. So you can have integrity and discretion there and discernment to say whether or not you're going to charge that person more because of their scalp condition, or you're going to charge in the same price because that's all an individual thing. The biggest thing is being able to communicate, having the ability to communicate, knowing, having a general idea of how much you're going to charge for certain upcharges in certain scenarios.
Yeah.
And that will alleviate a lot of drama, a lot of conflict. The reality is you cannot make everybody happy.
No, you can't.
Especially if you got kids, you know that, right? It's impossible. And we as humans, we usually tend to do this more than this. This is the get. This is the give. It's natural. It's natural for us. And like we were talking about before, who doesn't like free stuff? Right? Who doesn't like the little extra $5 off, $10 off? But as stylists, you have to realize, especially if you're like me and BB, like this is our bread and butter. Like if we don't work, we don't make money.
Eat.
You have to know your value, and be diligent about your business. Be prepared for certain clients that are going to try to take, get as much.
Yeah, for sure.
Draw that line in the sand and say, I appreciate you, I value you. I wouldn't be able to have the lifestyle that I have without you, but I scheduled you. I had an understanding that I would have you for 4 hours. I didn't really prepare to have you for 8 hours today. This is how I can compromise with you. I don't have it today, or I do have it today, but it's going to be an additional to X, Y, and Z. And usually, from my experience, the customer respects it and values you, and usually it works out. Like I can count on one hand the amount of times I really had a difficult client that would be described like her, but that doesn't really happen often, but it does. And you want to be able to address it where you can still want to get up and make people beautiful the next day. Right.
Yeah.
Because if you have a lot of clients like the one whose post we read, I could imagine that would be draining. It may make you feel less valuable about yourself, right? Start making you kind of question yourself, question your skills, and question your worth. And don't do that.
So I have a question. What could we tell other stylists, or what could we advise other stylists if they are find themselves or have found themselves in these type of positions, how to move forward? So as far as like being blasted in a negative manner, not for something positive, but if they are blasted, how can we advise them to navigate that and handle that in a way that will be conductive and have a positive impact on their business?
Well, let me tell you something. What I think is, listen, let's like my girl Cardi B. When she first hit the scene, people had a lot of negative things to say about her.
She was clapping back at everybody.
But she was all on the blog. She was all, let me digress.
Mhm.
Negative publicity isn't necessarily bad, right?
Not all the time.
You
Mhm.
could take advantage of negative publicity.
Mhm.
Learn how to turn some negative situations into a learning experience.
Mhm.
So if people are out here, someone's blasted you or made a negative post or put a negative review on it, as stylist, I feel like you need to respond. You have to respond. It's like someone just put a review out on you. You know, it's
Mhm.
like a Google review.
Mhm.
Someone put a bad review on you and you don't respond, it's gonna almost, we as
Look
humans, we're like,
like
oh,
you
they
don't
just got
care.
to be true. They ain't say nothing.
Yeah.
It's got to be true then. So
Mhm.
respond, but how
Mhm.
you respond is going to determine how you come on the other side of that.
Yeah, it's gonna determine a lot. It's gonna
So
determine.
my advice is one, to respond, but not immediately.
Mhm.
Read the post, read the review 3 times. Read the review 3 times, and
Uh-huh.
then after that, search for the facts. You evaluate yourself first. Is there anything that I could have done differently in this situation to prevent this
Mhm.
or to soften this blow, right?
Mhm.
Look at yourself. And if you feel like you've dotted your I's and crossed your T's and you provided the best service that you could provide at that time in that moment,
Mhm.
address it with love. Like I said, present the facts again.
Mhm.
You
Mhm.
know, um, go
Respond
down
to the
what
facts.
you did. What did you
Mhm.
do? How did you service that client? What was that
Mhm.
experience? Okay, well, first of all, no, the client isn't always right, but
Mhm.
someone has made a post to reflect on your business.
So you gotta address. You gotta address it as
We
such.
have to address it. We have to address it. So my advice is read it 3 times,
Mhm.
take the emotion out of it, and speak facts.
You
Speak
said
facts,
that.
and then thank them. Thank you for bringing these things to my attention.
Mhm.
I didn't realize that these were your concerns. This is the fact. This is how I provided your service. These are the things
Mhm.
that I did, X, Y, and Z, addressing
Mhm.
whatever the post that they made or the review that they
Mhm.
made. These are the things that
Mhm.
I will do in the future.
Mhm.
If you don't feel like it's something that you need to bring them back into the salon to fix, don't. We
Yeah.
not giving back no money.
Mhm.
And do better the next time. Charge it to the game, but don't not respond. That is my
Okay.
advice.
Okay.
Respond out of love, stick it to the facts.
I agree. I feel like I don't really have much to add because, like Trent said, don't respond emotionally. Gather the facts and, be honest with yourself. Inflection, that's what it called. Anyway, just, process your experience, be realistic with yourself. Don't be emotional about it. If you were in the wrong, correct it or show that you are, you do respect and acknowledge their experience with you. Um, I would say, do I agree with responding to everything? No. Some things, yes. But I would add that always be aware that you're either going to attract more clients from your response or turn people away from you with your response. I
Bingo.
want them to be aware of that. So think about the fact that people are sometimes not happy and sometimes you mess up and sometimes people are just not a fit for you. But everybody deserves respect. And I personally feel like, I don't really curse people out online because once you disrespect me, I leave the conversation because you're not taking me up and through there. Because if I can't put my hands on you, I'm gonna be mad. No, well, girl, I can't do it. I can't do it. So if you get disrespectful with me, there's nothing else I can do for you at that point. So but my
BB,
point is, people are going to. I don't think you did anything wrong. By the way, you ain't got to keep trying to justify it because
I
you
do feel
you
bad though.
did what you had.
I do
Feel
feel
like
a
you were
little bad, guys,
as
because
pretty
I'm
as
known
everybody
I'm known for
will.
being the peacemaker, the light body,
But
the
it's okay.
butterflies and horseshoes, and
It's
the
not
reality
always like that.
is
They
I
caught you
do
on a
not
bad day.
take lightly people coming for my brothers and sisters in the beauty
Yeah.
industry.
They caught you on a bad day.
They really
But
did, and
Mhm.
Just to piggyback on what BB was saying, you guys, you don't need every butt is not for your seat.
Yeah, everybody's not.
You
Don't
don't
even
want
have that
every single
goal.
client sitting in your chair. You don't want every
Mhm.
client because they come from all different walks of life, all different type of energies and spirits and
Mhm.
stuff attached to them, and you don't need that. You know what I
Mm-mm.
mean? So filter through. Someone makes a bad review about you, makes a bad post about you, respond with integrity,
Mhm.
respond without the emotion, and reply with the facts. The facts
Mhm.
is what you did, the services that you did provide, what you did do, and take it as a learning experience.
Yeah.
And
I have a tip for people who are
brush your shoulders off.
I have a tip that will, for the most part illuminate, because we run a business. We have perfected, I get. I ain't gonna say perfected because we always can get better. But as far as like communication, you can follow up. Sometimes, I slack with my existing clients and I want to do better with this, but I've been sending out like follow-up messages like a week after appointments, and I ask them how their hair is doing, and I ask them how their experience was. I've had instances where the style that I gave someone wasn't as easy to maintain as they thought it would be. So they were going to try to take it out themselves instead of like, calling me or asking me about it. And with me reaching out and communicating with her like a week after her service, I was able to, get her to stay in the style. And I was able to restyle her extensions in a way that she could upkeep it. She had curly extensions and she was trying to do the wash and go look, but that was too high maintenance for her. So what I had her do is said, "Hey, I want you to try a twist out on the hair extensions and see if that's easier for you to manage and more low maintenance." And that's exactly what happened. So if I wouldn't have checked in with her a week later, you know, I kind of remove the possibility of a bad review or bad experience happening because I checked up with her in a week. You know what I mean?
That's some good advice,
You
BB.
know what I'm saying?
That's some good advice. If you are handling your business as a stylist and you're doing a follow up, you
A lot
might
of
be
stuff can
able, yeah,
a lot of stuff can be
you could
eliminated.
avoid
And
that. You could avoid that.
exactly. But I would have never knew that. And I want to touch on this too. I would have never knew that if I wouldn't have reached out to her. And by the looks of it, that customer would have never communicated with me that she was having a problem. So consumers, we want to have good experiences because at the end of the day, it get ugly in the beauty industry. But at the end of the day, we love y'all. We love our consumers and we want to do the best for.
That's right.
I speak from to do the best. I want to be
Me
respected by
too,
my clients,
boo.
and and I
Yes.
want to respect
Lead and
them.
excel.
Yeah. So I always recommend that consumers, you have a responsibility to tell your stylist what is up.
Yes.
If you don't like, my clients are so comfortable telling me they don't like something, and even when new clients come in, they're like, "Can you curl that a little bit?" I say, "Yeah, girl, let's do it." They're like, "Oh, like you're not upset with me. Upset with what? You're paying your money. What? Upset with who?
Yes.
I
Let's
can curl your
normalize the
hair. Why are you sitting in my
communication.
chair? It's the
Yes.
time for you to tell me what you need and what you desire. I will curl and redo and updo if I got the time for it. I will get it right for you. But if you never say anything to your stylist,
You've taken that away from
you've
me.
taken that opportunity for her to show you that she cares or he cares. You've taken that opportunity from them to make the situation better. Stop leaving these chairs unhappy. Stop leaving these chairs letting people think they like their hair. It does not help your stylist.
Let's
It does not help
normalize
anyone in this
being
industry.
honest with your
And also, stylists need to be. I'm gonna do devil's advocate because we have interesting
we
personalities.
need to be more receptive.
We need to be more receptive and open. We need to have an open. We need to be open.
Straightforward and open-minded.
If you're not open, at least make a part of the appointment time. Hey, this is your time where you tell me if you're happy or not. Because if you leave, you're telling me you're happy. Is there anything I can do better for you? People love that. People
Say that
love
again for
that.
the people in the back. If you leave,
If you leave, you're telling me I'm under the impression that you love your hair. So go ahead and check your hair. Look at your hair. Is there anything that I can do better? Is there anything that you want done differently? If no one says anything, and also stylists, we got to stop assuming. We have to make sure we do these extra steps. I know, but we got to do them to protect our business, because when it comes down to the review and the backlashing on social media and all of these outbursts on social media, emotional responses, if you've done your job, you can
Restate the
easily
facts.
you can restate the fact. Or like what I like to do, honey, I'm gonna ignore sometimes, because if I know I've done my job and I've communicated, I'm not responding.
Well, you're not responding to the person per se. You're really responding for all the other ones who haven't sat in your chair. You're really responding for the ones who don't know you. Let's be clear.
You're glad you made it clear.
It's not that I'm responding to your bullshit. It's the fact that I'm responding so that my other future clientele that sits in my chair really knows
who you are. I can respect that. I get that from that angle.
Who have you messed up out here in these streets? And
see, I leave it to
what other people said about us.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
So like that's why I mean, like, you have to address it.
I guess for me, I look at it like
a reflection of your business. So you have to say something. You don't necessarily don't get involved in the like with beauty and the emotional aspect of it.
Yeah.
But like she said, if you know that you did everything that you were supposed to do, go back to what I said. Speak the facts.
I ain't mad at it. I guess for me,
when you came in relaxed talking about you want a double process, you want to be 613 tomorrow, and I.
I guess for me, what I was
recommunicate that on the post. I'm not getting into the emotional aspect with you, but I'm going to speak the facts.
Sometimes I don't respond. Sometimes I don't respond for the simple fact that once you experience, when you come to the salon and experience, I know what you're gonna get. You know what I mean? So I guess I do respect what you're saying, and I have to look at it that way, because God forbid I'm put in that position. But at the end of the day, this podcast, this episode is definitely for me to take some things and add them to my business. Just thinking about like, okay, responding for, if you do decide to respond, just knowing that, we are setting an example and setting the tone for people that may patronize our business. So I get that. I guess I gotta not think so much as I'm responding to this person and giving them the time of day, and think about all of my future clients that I may be servicing who will see a post like that. They see something like that, they're going to automatically search it out. You know what I mean?
We're educators, and our students
comes with the job.
Yeah, our students are not going to always
know how to handle that.
Yeah, understand what we're saying and really maybe not even respect it because they haven't had that experience themselves. Yeah, and the reality is a lot of people have a lack of respect for stylists because you have not been in our shoes. You don't know what it feels like to be on your feet for 10 to 12 hours with your back, your neck, your fingers, your toes, your ankles, everything hurting on you.
Stuff hurting, you don't even know
it's hard. When you haven't been through it or you haven't lived it, it's hard to really have an opinion about it.
Yeah.
But again, to reiterate, not an hour and 2 minutes, but to reiterate, let's normalize being honest. Let's normalize being straightforward. Let's normalize being open-minded. Be honest, because that's the biggest thing with the relationship between client and the stylist.
Communication, and be honest
with your guest and let them know, like, hey, this is something that's not gonna be good for you. This will be okay, or different things like that. And being straightforward,
not giving people whatever they want.
Giving people the impression that something will happen that really is not
going to happen.
The open-minded part is once you've been straightforward and letting somebody know your value, your worth. Let's speak on the pricing. Hey, I charge $100 for kids because from my 15 years of experience, I don't even be wanting to deal with my own kids after servicing children. So it's got to be.
You're so funny.
So this is the price that I came up with because it makes me physically feel okay when I'm done enough for me to still want to deal with my own and be open-minded to the fact that say, well, okay. Well, that's outside of my budget right now, and I really wasn't expecting to spend that $100, so I'm gonna go somewhere else. Be open-minded to receive that and not take it personal, because
for sure,
cause you do have the
don't
right
be offended when people aren't, when you're not in there. But like, stylists should work on, not being offended. I'm not offended. As long as, I'm not offended when people feel like, they want to go elsewhere. I support them, especially if everyone's, remaining their level of respect. and stuff like that, it's cool with me, because it may not always be that case. You know what I
Right.
mean? It's just,
Yeah.
not burning bridges, because sometimes people will be like, nah, whatever the case, but you got to respect clients too when they
Cause
do.
I love y'all. I love y'all regardless.
For
I love
sure.
the young lady who made that post. I love you, girl, and I hope that you're more enlightened now, that you
Hmm.
have a little bit more knowledge about the beauty industry, and even from our point of view as stylists, as business
Hmm.
owners, salon owners. But it's all
Hmm.
love, and we're just coming from a place to enlighten you guys and to hash out this beef.
Yeah, I'm
It's
so tired.
hash out this
I
beef
really,
between the clients and the stylist. Like, we're
it's
supposed to be in
interesting.
unity and in harmony. Like, why
Yeah,
are there's so much static and we're bumping heads? And I just
yeah,
cannot
yeah,
understand it.
yeah. I feel like I
Bridge this
would.
gap.
Yeah, I agree. I know we probably end soon, but you went on, you was already moving along. So to the listeners, we have another slide on the screen that our viewers can see and you cannot. Bridging the gap. So we're going to wrap up, and in conclusion, we're going to kind of tap into ways for stylists and consumers to better understand each other and communicate effectively and work towards a mutually beneficial relationship. And I feel like, number one, communication. Just always keeping a line of communication. I have clients that feel very comfortable to tell me, hey, this is not in the cards this week. What else can I get? Or, you know, whatever the case, being being respectful enough and being open to, someone communicating with you where they at, and then communicating back with them what you can do or what you can't do. Because if someone can't afford to come to you every week this month, I may give them something like a sew-in. So you're
Bingo.
going to get a
Bingo.
sew-in, so you won't need to come in,
Bingo.
you can't come in for every week. Fine, let's do a sew-in. You won't have to come in for about 8 weeks, honestly. You know what I mean? So just communicating with them. That's ways that we can bridge
Yes.
and
Yes. And you
eliminate
guys,
misunderstandings
be
and
honest and
communicate the
open minded.
truth.
Yes,
Mhm,
communicate, because if the reality is,
mhm,
once you sit in our chair,
mhm.
we're not sending you back out the door with your hair looking like it did.
Yeah,
Good stylists,
you're
the
great time. That's all
majority
we
of
can
us,
speak for.
we're
Yeah.
not turning you away. So we're gonna work with your budget. You
Mhm,
know what I'm saying? So instead of trying to get something free, just work within your means. We still
mhm.
gonna hook you up, boo.
And just
Because
communicate.
good stylists ain't gonna let no money just walk at the door. And on top of that, a good stylist ain't gonna let somebody with their hair all over their head just walk out when they've expressed and they've been honest and they've communicated that it's just not in the budget. It's not because I don't respect you and I don't value
Exactly. It's a way to come about it.
it.
And
That's yeah, so that's why communication is really so important. And if you cannot be honest with your stylist, then baby girl, you need to learn, you need to hop on YouTube.
mhm,
You need
and
to
get
go down to your cousin's house where she popping that $30 relaxer in your head,
yeah.
because in order for you to really get the results that you want from your hair, you need to be
Mhm.
honest with your stylist, because that's what you're expecting her to be with you.
And also, as far as like customers, I want to talk to customers directly. Guys, get all of the information you need before your appointment. Be clear on what you're getting. So if you want to I'll just speak for me. If you want to come to my salon, I have a website. It has everything priced on it, and I am a la carte, and that is stated. That just means anytime you add something to your base service, there's an upcharge. So what you can do is, look at the website, see what you want, see if it's in the pricing and budget. And then if it is, get it. If it's not, pick a service that's in your budget. Also, do your research. Just because you want a particular stylist and they may not be in your budget or whatever the case, there are other stylists that may be in your budget. You know what I mean? So no, don't necessarily research pricing to go to the stylist that you want to tell them, hey, so and so does it this way. More so research to see where you fit. You know what I mean? As far as etiquette, if you cannot afford a service, just don't go to that stylist. I feel like it's very offensive. Like, a way for you guys not to be offensive is, don't come in the day of your service, the moment of your service, and then try to haggle. let's not be offensive. Let's not, that's an uncomfortable situation for the stylist, and that's also uncomfortable for you. So just make sure that you are researching their services before you sit in their chair. Do not get in a person's chair and you don't know what you're spending. You can easily email them, tell them what you want, and get the numbers, the cost. You can text them, get the numbers. There's so many ways you can communicate about what it's going to cost before you get in that stylist chair. There's consultations. So there are ways to find out what you need before having that conversation the day of, So I just want to
There is no
encourage you.
reason you should be having a conversation the day of.
No.
The consultation happens before. I
I
know
agree.
before I put,
But some
before
people
you,
don't do
but
them.
that's the problem.
I
So-
agree.
So
Mhm.
that is customers, clientele, we love you, we appreciate you, we
Mhm.
value you, and the responsibility is not all on you.
No, it's
There's
not. We have some stuff to
obviously
do.
a disconnect between the stylist and the client. So we
Yeah.
as stylists, as entrepreneurs, as beauty professionals, we need to be more diligent about our business, especially with how we communicate. The steps of a hair service, and it starts with the consultation.
Mhm.
If you are skipping the consultation, if you are not completing the consultation in full,
Mhm.
then that is slack on you.
Mhm.
There's no reason, I don't believe that a person should be sitting in your chair and you don't know what you're
Talk
doing
to
up
'em.
until that moment.
Yeah,
No,
for
no,
sure.
no.
Got to do consultations, guys. New client, consultation. New service, consultation. Just consultation.
Same client, consultation.
Same client, new service,
Consultation. Because I ain't seen you for 3 months.
Consultation.
I don't know what you've been eating, what you've been drinking. I don't know what's coming up through your scalp. You look thin since the last time I see you. I need to do some things differently with you this time. I need to consult. Have you become allergic to something newly? Are you on any new medications that are affecting how your hair grows out of your scalp? I need to know these things. So consult with your guest every service. You need to follow up.
Her response comes before mine, because you'll learn pricing at consultation. Trent is right. Consultations. Book a consultation when you're going to a new stylist, and if you want something new, if they offer the service, book a consultation. Start there. That's always the best place to start. And stylists, we're speaking directly to you guys. It's time to start offering consultations if you are not. This is the place where you get all the talking out, the expectations out. This is where you get a clear understanding of what they desire, and you have the opportunity to let them know if you can actually give them what they desire, and
Correct.
if so, how much it's going to cost. Consultation is first. So yes,
nothing worse than a client sitting up in your chair and you like, oh yeah, I'm getting knotless. Okay, it's just knotless. And they come sit up in your chair with this much hair on their head,
and you just you didn't even know.
All over. Yeah, and you and they looking like
And now, girl,
now you got to communicate now you got to communicate and let them know, boo boo, I need about another inch on you.
It's happening. That's why I did
eliminated is if you done your due diligence prior to. Consultation is always the first thing before any service. And we have too much technology out here for y'all to not be doing no consultation.
Virtual,
got FaceTime. They can send a photo of their hair. They can send a video of their hair. You can FaceTime. You got WhatsApp. You got Google.
Zoom.
There's no excuse, you guys.
None.
There's no excuse. And that's what's going to set you apart from the others. Consult with your peoples.
And also, I want to add, because I'm just not going to assume people were here for the last show. As stylists, again, and to reiterate, we have to be financially forward. We have to get comfortable talking numbers with our clients.
Yep.
We have to get comfortable talking about
money. An hour.
Okay.
It's $100 extra to add.
Thank you.
If you want it past your bra, that's $100 additional, $150. If you want to add hair, don't $2 a strand. No, I'm just joking.
Yeah, don't get caught up. Don't get caught in a position where you have to emotionally discount because you're not confident talking about money, and you're not confident, letting people know that if they want to deviate from the plan, then you're deviating from the ticket cost. Okay. If we discuss one thing and you show up the day of and you go in another route, that route is going to change the bottom line. Okay. So
Right.
let's get comfortable talking to our clients about money. Let's get comfortable, letting people know when they want something other than what you originally agreed to. That changes things. And like Trent said in the last video, if you are not comfortable charging, then you got to say no, you can't do it.
Bingo. And on top of that, if you're while talking about uncomfortable, if you are uncomfortable communicating verbally about your prices, then you might need to do the old school. You might need to make you a little pricing menu, right? You might need to create a physical pricing menu that
leave it in front of you
that you don't want to necessarily say, or have that's the point of the booking links. Right? You need a service menu that has it there in plain, itemized. So when these clients come, if you know that you are the type of person, or type of client, which you should be, that's charging.
You want to know everything you pay
of hair. Then you decide that price and you put it on your pricing list. So when they ask, well, let's see, let's look together. Right? So there are so many ways around it. For me, it's uncomfortable to verbally talk about money. I'm just being real. I'm still growing. I'm more comfortable than I was before now.
Have you been practicing?
But yes, that's what I'm saying. But through that, it's coming through practice. But there are still times where I get that bubble gut when it's time for me to charge.
But you
right?
do.
I ain't gonna charge. I'm just saying it took me
it get rough for you.
I had to gas out to get there.
It took me a while, but I'm there.
For the ones who are still working on that, it's gonna be okay. But there are ways to help yourself to build up that courage, right, to do so, because just because you are not necessarily confident enough to verbalize it, that don't mean you don't deserve the money, though.
That's right.
You still got to get paid for that service.
Yeah.
Janika knew that that y'all had agreed to $150 worth of box of medium knotless. Now she comes sitting up in your chair talking about, well,
I have something to say when you're done.
You make them small at the top. You're in control of that, stylist.
That's right.
Let's normalize you being in control. Once you get past that consultation, you're in control, baby girl.
And I want to tell you guys before we wrap up, if you are a new stylist, veteran stylist, whatever level stylist you are, and you want to practice being financially forward or having a money conversation with your clients, I want all of you, the next time you go into work, the next time you take a client, I want you to start your service this way. It don't matter new, old. I want you to start with greeting them before you get going. How are you doing? How's your day? How are you doing? Okay, what can I do for you today? If they've already booked the blowout on your service, you say, I have you down for a blowout. That's going to be, let's just throw out a random number, $85 today. Are you still wanting just the blowout, or did you need anything additional? Okay.
Hey, boo. But that's why I charge deposits. I just had to add that in. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
I'm not comfortable necessarily talking about money, but that's why I have a booking link. So if there's any people out here that'll hear this later on, there's so many ways where you really don't have to do so much to verbalize.
Yeah, people can see your
but
you still gotta say it.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, people will still say, what I owe you, knowing they got an email.
Because my booking link, you gotta pay 50%. You got to pay 50% of your service. So you already know when you book that service,
you already know exactly what's left over.
50% of more of what you done paid.
Let me rephrase it for people who already have booking links, because we do. So if you don't have a booking link, use the first script that I gave you. And if you have a booking link, okay, let's start with me. Okay, hello, thank you for coming in. I have you down for a sew-in today, but you've already paid a $50 deposit towards your service. $150 will be left over. Do you still just want the sew-in, or will you be adding anything additional? Either way it go, guys, we have a responsibility. We have a responsibility to talk numbers, be financially forward with our clients. Start repeating what they're getting to them and saying that number out loud. Start doing that at the beginning of your service and doing that, and then keep it pushing. Just do that every time you start a service. It's going to get easier. You're talking about numbers daily in your business. Now it's not so scary, because all those people know what this is the point. It's a win-win, because these people already booked. They know what they're paying. So you're just reiterating what they're paying. You're just saying it out loud, getting used to saying, hey, you already paid $25 for your blowout. You just have, $60 left over. All right, let's get started. Okay. You know what I'm saying? You're not upselling, you're not adding anything. You're telling them what they already know, but you're practicing saying it out loud. Okay? So that's the advice I have to you guys. And I feel like we can wrap it up. I mean, we've been on here for about a good hour and 20 minutes. It's bedtime for me because my kids go back to school tomorrow. So my morning is going to start at 6 a.m. So I'm done. But if there anything you want to say in closing, we can do that.
Yes, I just wanted to thank every single body who came here today, who dropped some comments, who dropped some views, dropped some hearts, who shared our post, who will listen to this post later on. I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for the life that the Most High chose to breathe in your lungs. I'm grateful for the experiences that you will have because they're going to make you the best you that you can possibly be. Okay.
Sure.
I'm grateful for our talents. May we use them to glorify the Most High. Mm-hmm. I am grateful for my sister as well as my co-host and my business partner. I am so proud of you, and I'm proud of your consistency because every day, every Monday at 9:29, you ready. And I appreciate you for holding me accountable and being on this platform with me. And I just encourage you guys as beauty professionals and as people who love to be beautiful.
Yeah, love to get beautiful.
Accentuate their beauty because that's what we do. You're already beautiful. We just accentuate the beauty that you have. I encourage you guys to be more open-minded, honest, and straightforward.
With each other.
Let's bridge these gaps in the beauty industry. Let's value ourselves more, and let's value the people who are putting their hands in our hair.
Yes. I guess I want to say, I'll just reiterate what went down today. So, stylists, remember before you emotionally respond to some triggering things that can be said about us in our industry, in our profession, just remember your value. Remember how important you are and how life-changing you are. Remember that. And if you ever find yourself in a situation where you have to respond to some negative feedback, just remember to keep your emotions out of it, state the facts, and keep in mind that you are presenting yourself to potential customers because negativity does bring eyes. So just remember that instead of speaking directly to that negative response, if they can't be reasoned with or there's no solving it, respond anyway, like Trent said, but just keep in mind that you are responding to future clients and anyone who will see this post. So just remember that and, dot your I's, cross your T's, and remain respectful. And just remember you represent yourself at all times. And I also want to thank you, Tran, showing up with your girl. I appreciate you. I appreciate your insight. I'm very, very, as much as I was, apprehensive about this topic, I'm glad we did it. And I'm glad you had the experience you had because you definitely, we definitely was able to talk about this. We're always talking about this amongst ourselves. So it feels really good to be able to just say how we feel about it. Get it out.
This is a conversation, a very uncomfortable conversation that
it's very uncomfortable.
A lot of other stylists have been wanting to have, and we had it for you today.
Yeah, okay, so this is really
that's out the way. We hopefully will not be retouching this or revisiting this anytime soon because we do not really get into the drama.
We don't, but we want to be informative at all times too. But I thank you for coming on with me tonight, and we're gonna wrap up. We can go ahead and let the people know what to do.
I'm Trin.
I'm BB Nicole.
And come back to the Beauty Vault next week at 9:30. We're gonna have something else.
We will see you guys next week. Thank y'all for tuning in. Good night. Good night. All right.